Все поддерживающие стороны. Чуть-чуть потише, чтобы ближе шум, чтобы помешать отвечающим. Хорошо?
Well, very worried, but it's not a secret. So I wish good luck to the team of opposition, to this opposition. So let's start.
Hello, I'm the first speaker of Proposition Team. My name is Milana. Today we're playing on the topic this house as parents wouldn't show their children films and series that promote sex-based stereotypes. First of all, I would like to present our definitions. First, sex-based stereotypes are attitudes in society that determine that boys should be engaged in conventional masculine affairs like robots, machines, and so on, and girls should be engaged in feminine ones, dresses, dolls, conventional girls' affairs. Promote its propaganda and imposing value. First, the development and happiness of society and person to a happy childhood, full development. Actors. Society, which is moved from the separation of the roles of sexes. Children who are free to choose their interests, and future adults who need some knowledge from films and series from childhood. Our arguments. First, formation of interests since childhood, and second argument will be present our second speaker. Nowadays,
Do you mind repeating the first argument?
formation of interest science childhood. Nowadays, the boundaries between female and male roles have become very blurred. Now, an adult can perform any fiction, both male and male. Such cartoons promote outdated values. Society is trying to keep up with times and get rid of such stereotypes. By limiting the child's choice of films, the parent restricts him to possible new interests in a variety of films. In the future, this will lead to many problems. A person won't be able to work in different fields. For example, such cartoons promote the separation of the roles of women and men, which doesn't correspond to modern reality. As I said earlier, we are getting rid of such stereotypes. In the future, children who grow up need the information that they could get from cartoons. They form a complete picture of the world, develop a personality in a versatile way, and help to determine interests from childhood. Because of this, children who have always watched cartoons promoting the separation of roles break away from the real world and can decide on further interests from childhood without seeing the full picture of the world. In our world, children can understand what they like from childhood, and by the time they become adults, they will become established personalities. In the future, this will help the individual to develop calmly and safely as a person and feel comfortable and in a modern society. For example, the girl was fond of cartoons about robots in childhood and became a famous, talented technician. Sorry. So we believe that it's impossible to work with watching such cartoons. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
judges, our dear opponents, and timekeeper. I'm the first speaker of the opposition team. My name is Jessica, and our team's name is Red Hot Chili Peppers. My teammates are Michael, who's the second speaker, and the reply speaker, and Latifa, she's the third speaker of our team. The motion of our today's game is this house, as parents wouldn't show their children films and series that promote sex-based stereotypes. We are absolutely sure that we can convince you that it's not true. So this motion is really important and actual nowadays because many films and series still perpetuate traditional gender roles, often portraying characters in ways that align with societal expectations of masculinity and femininity. In various cultures, there is an acceptance of traditional gender roles, which can lead parents to choose media that reflects these norms, believing in reinforces societal values. So the value of this motion lies in showing films and series that promote sex-based stereotypes might be seen as a way of reinforce traditional gender identities, providing children with a sense of belonging within their cultural context. By exposing children to these stereotypes, parents might view it as an opportunity to engage in discussions about gender roles and expectations, potentially leading to critical thinking about the content and its implications. So our main actors are children, parents, society, and filmmakers. So to prove our motion, we'd like to present our definitions. Sex-based stereotypes are preconceived ideas whereby females and males are assigned characteristics and roles determined and limited by their biological sex. Parents is a person who has a child or children, especially a mother or a father. It can also refer to someone who takes the responsibility, the parent or the parental role in someone's life, such as a guardian, a foster parent, or a mentor. Children are a young human being below the age of adulthood. It can refer to a son or a daughter, or more generally to any young person. Movie and series are powerful tools that not only entertain, but also shape societal dynamics, cultural conversations, and individual identities. So, I would like to present our case now. So our first argument is critical thinking, and the second argument sounds like real-world exposure. So I'll explain our first argument, and the second argument is going to be presented by our second speaker. So the first one. So engaging with the media that challenges sex-based stereotypes equips children with essential tools to navigate the complexities of the real world. By exposing them to that diverse array of narratives, parents can foster critical thinking and resilience in their children, encouraging them to question societal norms and expectations. This proactive engagement not only prepares children for the realities they will encounter, but also cultivates a heightened social awareness, enabling them to recognize and confront issues such as sexism and discrimination. As children learn to empathize with a variety of experiences and challenge traditional gender roles, they become informed advocates for positive change. Rather than shielding children from these important topics, parents can harness media as a powerful platform for meaningful conversations, nurturing a generation that is both aware and empowered to shape a more equitable future. So segregation of the society benefits the market as sellers get the opportunity to sell more products as we live in a capitalistic world. Therefore, it benefits our world economy as well. And parents can play a pivotal role in helping their children understand different gender identities by sharing stories from books, shows, and movie series that feature a wide range of characters. When children see characters who face challenges related to their gender identity, they are more likely to develop empathy and understanding towards others. These narratives serve as valuable teaching moments where parents can facilitate discussions about the characters' journeys, prompting children to think critically about how society perceives gender and the importance of respect for all individuals. Moreover, exposure to diverse characters encourages children to embrace their own interests, regardless of societal expectations. For instance, if a boy enjoys playing with dolls or a girl is passionate about sports, it is valuable for them to understand that it's perfectly acceptable to express themselves authentically. Overall, sharing stories about different genders helps them learn more about the world. When parents create a space where talking about gender is normal, they can raise children who appreciate and respect everyone, no matter how they identify. So, I guess that's all. The second argument about critical thinking is going to be presented by our second speaker.
The second speaker of propositions is
Hello, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second speaker of proposition team, and I continue our debates. First of all, I want to start with a refutation of our dear opponents. Our society today, far from gender stereotypes, and such idea is already old. We need to walk with the time to make future of child successful and comfortable. We don't need to see in past. Society excitation is not a thing which is important in become a happy person and to develop. Now I want to present you our second argument, children's interests. For example, you are children, maybe girl, maybe boy, it doesn't matter. Your friends told you that in cinema we have some new movie that very interesting and told us about maybe girls' school and we want to go to cinema and see this movie, but our parents told us that we can't see this movie because each movie was created only for girl, and we boy can't to see them. After that, you stay angry for your parents because in childhood you think that all think that your parents we in childhood we think that it's so bad, and child thinks that his parents guilty in this. After this child can see movie and anger for parents, and their relation become bad. In childhood, all things seems in 100% hard than it really is. Are you ready to sacrifice the mental health of children? We believe that we should not forbid children to watch what they want. We are for the modern development of society. We believe that we should not limit children because this will affect their future. Cartoons form a picture of the world, and we take away the opportunity to completely conquer this world. In childhood, it is necessary to view the world as modern people. Cartoons help us to form our future. Cartoons will help us to choose our future profession, maybe, because in childhood we create our interest in our life, and the movie can help to show this. Our team is not ready to neglect the interest of children. We think that we need to give opportunity to develop the society and the children. And we think that movie can develop children in different types, in different aspects in their life. Because movie show us how to work, how to change something in our life, and children will see this and remind it for whole their life maybe. And we think that we need to show all movies for all children. That is all that I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
The second speaker of opposition team is from
Hello, my name is Michael, second speaker of the opposition team. We'll continue our debate simulation. We all know what opposition is. So first of all, I'd like to rebuttal our first argument. So our opponents said, as they refute to our first argument, was basically that these views are old, outdated, we do not need the old, we need to create something new. Yeah. Well, listen, civilization, yeah, is tens of thousands of years old. Yeah, society formed in this way with stereotypes for a reason. Yeah, and we need this reason. So if you're removing these basic stereotypes, then you're not only disrespecting our ancestors, and the work they've done, but also you're removing these kind of borders between men and women, which is bad. And as an example, I can give you the West, with their kind of removal of this border between men and women. That's why I have transgenders. That's why I have all sorts of basically mental illnesses. And overall, yes. Right, now I'd like to repeat the first argument. So the first argument was about formation of interests. And in the argument they're talking about that in modern society the border between men and women is blurred, and because girls are being told that they can only work here and there, then they basically have no interest. They only have like this kind of small sphere of type of jobs that they can have, basically. Well, you have this really sort of outdated view in the world. Previously, like 100 years ago, or even like 50 years ago, when society was basically outdated society, yes, there was the problems where women were not allowed to go to school, they were not allowed to get education. Yeah, that was a problem. No, that's why I have feminists, of course, and they got their rights, they got what they needed. In modern society, gender roles, they make sense. Gender roles are kind of stereotypes, are actually correct in terms of, they're correct in terms of nature-wise. Because, for example, you have a woman and a man, a man physically strong, woman physically weak, so thereby it makes a lot more sense if you have the man go and, I don't know, carry bricks around, and have the woman go sew something. So this is nature, this is tradition, and this is logic. Right, now for the second argument, which was about child... What? It was about child interest. Well, here you're talking about, the child kind of has this anger towards his parent. Well, that's because of child neglect. The parents didn't have a sit-down talk with with their sprout. Telling them that basically do what you want. Yes, like what you said previously, stereotypes are here for a reason. We should be teaching our kids stereotypes for a reason. Stereotypes are needed. Stereotypes, are there for a logical, correct reason. So thereby, there's absolutely no problem in it. Right, now for our second argument, which is social awareness. by showing our children stereotypes, yeah, or these kind of movies and series with stereotypes in them, we are kind of building awareness in our children, yeah, about inequalities, complexities in society, so such as sexism, discrimination, and just social justice in general. Also teaching our children media literacy. Rather than shielding our children from these stereotypes, we can leverage and use these stereotypes to teach our children, yeah, about the real world, kind of get them adjusted to this real world. So when they go into it, yeah, they're already prepared for what's in there, and compared to us, where if we did shield them, if we didn't show them how the world works, how stereotypes work in the world, yeah, they would be completely oblivious to the structure, to the system of our world, basically the way it is. That's it. Another thing that I would like to mention is in our bonus values is happy childhood. Well, exactly. Well, it's not a happy childhood, but it leads to a happy adulthood too. If you show the kids these stereotypes, yeah, it kind of simplifies life for them a lot because they don't have to think much. They know, I'm a girl, I'm a boy, yeah, that's good. And later in life, because they already have these stereotypes in their brain, they already know how to progress, how to live, how to exist in society overall. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for your attention.
The third speaker of propositions, please, you are welcome.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm the first speaker of proposition team. My name is Anne, and first of all, I want to tell you about. I want to make refutation of our points and rebutting of our own arguments. But firstly, I want to tell you about real world, about which our opponents, I think, have wrong idea. First of all, nowadays we are going far from stereotypes because today we have modern society where boys can shoot. I'm sorry. Okay. And girls can work in the sphere of robots or in sphere of, I don't know, IT technologies and something like that. And it's not a problem. It's the real world which we are talking about. And when our opponents told us about children who are from their childhood will know about stereotypes and will feel themselves comfortable and know how to exist in this society, it's just not true because, as I said earlier, nowadays this society needs all these aspects, needs all these knowledges, needs all these abilities from our child who became an adult, and that means that you won't feel comfortable in this society. Okay, now I'm going to refute the third speech of our dear opponents. Our opponents told us about traditions which were formed for ages, but do you know why was it so? Because boys who are stronger physically, they didn't want to give rights to girls, they didn't want to share their abilities to the girls. And now, in our modern society, we can, the girls have the same rights, they have the same abilities, they can work in the same spheres as boys can. So they're talking about development in society, but it is the new way of development. It is the new way where all of our society have the same rights, the equal abilities, and the equal right to develop their interests, their talents, and so on. About our daily views on the world, I've already said that about strong men and weak women.
Point.
Okay, your point.
Okay, so you're talking about just stereotypes in terms of work, but we already said in modern society, the stereotypes of work, they kind of already don't exist. Yeah, but in terms of stereotype, in terms of romance and everything else, they still do exist. So everything that's not a stereotype concerning work, they still do exist, and they're still there for a reason.
Okay,
But as I said earlier, if we will look in our real world, nowadays we have a lot of girls who are working in IT sphere, and we have a lot of boys who are working in the spheres which earlier were only for girls. Oh, maybe I didn't understand your point, so okay, that's not a problem. About nature, about tradition, about logic, about strong men and big women. It's not a problem for a woman to work in a sphere. For example, it's only an example, but she don't need to be physically strong or something like that. It's just a sphere which earlier were only for men. And if you're I don't know, if you're a driver, do you need any physically strong abilities to be a driver? No, but earlier girls can't drive a car, and it's, as I said earlier, it's the new developing society, it is their equal rights. And also about strong men, why strong men can't work in, I don't know, in design, in painting, and it's not about that. In the spheres which earlier were only for women. I also didn't see any problems for them. About angry on parents, the same idea was not only about angry on parents, it was about the development of our children, of our child, development of our child in all aspects. So in future he will become a great, maybe he will become talented, a girl will become talented in the sphere which earlier was only for men, or a man will become talented in the sphere which earlier was only for women. So we can, from our childhood, we can understand what is interesting for us, we can understand our way of, our direction of development from our childhood, and you won't become an adult and you see, oh, there is a lot of spheres which I didn't say earlier because I saw only these movies and only these films, and I didn't even know about another spheres which exist in, and I didn't know how it works, and now it is interesting for me, but I'm not formed it yet, so it will be a greatest way to development for such children. And in our world, where from the childhood we have interests, we understand what do we like, what do we want, and it will be easier for already adults to build their career, to build their life way, and so on. About okay, about if you show stereotypes and children thinks about these stereotypes, and he's like, okay, I can do only this, that's why I'm happy. And he will become adult, he can exist in this world, so on, as our opponent said. But if you're just showing stereotypes to your children, as I said earlier, he will become old, he will become an adult. And he will understand that not only this little sphere which were given for him in the childhood is existing, and it means that he will understand that he is losing a great part of the abilities of himself, and it will be like dissonance for him. And it's not about happiness, it's like about, oh, I don't know what to do in this world, because maybe I like another sphere, maybe I like, okay, and that's why we won't have a happy adult, and that's why he won't know how to exist in this world. And I think that's... now I'm going to review this first argument for opponents. They're telling us about society expectations, but let's compare just the value of society expectations and your own comfort development. In my opinion, comfort and development is much more valuable than someone is thinking that you shouldn't drive because you're just a girl. Okay, and that's why we really think that we should give all this part of life, all these movies to both girls and both boys. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention.
Third speaker of opposition team, please, your
My name is Sophia. I'm third speaker of the opposition team, and I would like to start my speech with a refutation of our opponent's arguments. So their first argument was formation of interest since childhood. So children are free to choose what they want to do with the guidance of their parents and the media that they consume, because as we said earlier, that the world is the world is more focused on patriarchy, and it already for centuries it has determined certain gender roles between female and males. So by consuming these type of medias with the guidance of their parents, where they tell them what is right and what is wrong, they will understand these points of views better, since they have unstable mental health. So if the parents who are basically unneglectful towards their child, then they will make sure that what the children are consuming is a good source of media, and they will explain to them everything and help them navigate themselves through the real world. So their values are basically centered around happy childhood. But who says that children can't have happy childhood if they watch these types of contents? Because it's not, yes.
As we said in our first or second speech, I don't know, if child want to see movies about, I don't know, robots, but she's a girl, isn't it making her less happy?
But basically, if the child originally is exposed to these type of contents, then yes, of course, she will want to see it. But since in our world, she's already exposed to things about, basically, to feminine contents, then naturally she won't be able to, want to watch these type of contents. So their second argument was about children's interests, and as we said earlier, it's since in our world our children watch the contents which are more feminine and more that promote sex-based stereotypes, then they will naturally want to pursue themselves in the world with these types of work and these types of traditional roles in friendship and in partnership. Also, they were saying, generally they were only talking about work roles and traditional work between feminine work basically and masculine work, but the whole topic is surrounding just female male roles in general, not only in work. In love, for example, when the male is more, let's say, dominant compared to the women. So yeah. So now I would like to rebuttal our arguments. So our first argument was real world exposure. So engaging with media that challenges sex-based stereotypes equips children with essential tools to navigate the complexities of the real world. Because we have been living in this world for centuries, basically the world that promotes these sex-based stereotypes, how would this one person want to basically try to change something when this has been going on for centuries? So as children learn to emphasize with a variety of experiences and challenges with traditional gender roles, they become informed advocates for positive change. So basically, we should leverage these tools, and parents should educate their children on what is going on in the world, because once they live in this fantasy that they're going to be someone, but when they go into the real world, they might be not supported because of it, because it might be unusual. And parents might want to basically save their children from some type of discrimination. So that's why they tell their children about all the good and negative aspects of whatever they're watching. And overall, exposure to diverse characters encourages children to embrace their own interests that are linked to their gender identity. And it helps them find out basically, because feminine and masculine, feminine and masculine media portrayals are very diverse, and it's not only about for example, a girl wanting to wear dresses. There's a lot of, and a guy wanting to drive cars. It's a really it's really expansive, and there's a lot of more things to it that you could find that is more suitable, more feminine and more masculine. So it's not just only about this. And so our second argument was about critical thinking, and watching films and series that depict these stereotypes can provide an opportunity for parents and children to discuss and analyze their portrayal. Because it would totally be child neglect for the parent if they just simply tell their child, no, you cannot watch this. And the child is like, why? I want to see this. Why can't I? No. Oh. Why? I want to watch this. Why are you basically just declining? What if I'm interested in this? And the parent just doesn't explain it, and then they have a disagreement in their like not relationship, but like parent-child relationship, basically. Many films and series incorporate sex-based stereotypes to highlight real-world issues, making them relevant to understanding society. Also, segregation in the society benefits the market as sellers of these type of feminine masculine products. They get the opportunity to sell more products as we live in this type of world, and therefore it benefits our world economy as well with the use of these feminine masculine products. Also, in today's media-saturated world, young people are constantly bombarded with images and messages that shape their understanding of gender role and social norms, and it is important for them to still stand on ground and understand what their identity is, and many parents can use these moments to encourage empathy and awareness, teaching their children to recognize unfairness and think more deeply about how society works as a whole. That is all I want to say.
The vice speaker of opposition team, please welcome.
Hello, and this is the reply speech of the opposition team. So first of all, I'd like to thank every one of you present for our game here today. Me and my team had lots of fun, hopefully you had fun too. And overall, we know that we succeeded in our mission to prove to you, and it's basically to prove our side to you. And first of all, let's go over the clash points that we had during our game today. So the first clash point is our opponents were basically telling us that we have an outdated view of the world, or that stereotypes are not needed anymore. Well, it's exactly the other way around, because our opponents actually had the outdated view, because they were talking about stereotypes mainly in jobs. So 90% of their speech was just talking about the stereotypical jobs. So woman go to kitchen, man go, I don't know, pick up log. Yeah. Oh, this is incorrect. Because what we were advocating for, what is in modern society, you don't have the stereotype border between female male jobs. You have more of a stereotypical border, which is needed between just female femininity and masculinity in general in other spheres that is not related to jobs. And the second clash point was about interests, so about forming interests. Well, exactly, yeah. By showing our kids, our children, these stereotypical content, yeah, they'll be kind of forming their interest around these stereotypes, around their what they can do as a human being, yeah. And like we said previously, yeah, the border between male and female job stereotypes is still exists, but it's lots less evident as it was, for example, like 20, 30. 40 years ago. And now I'd like to compare our two worlds. So in our opponent's world, like I said previously, they were mostly talking about stereotypes in jobs. Oh, this is incorrect. We should not be talking about stereotypes in jobs, because it's outdated, yeah? Where modern society is actively working on removing this border, or just thinning it out, yeah? And what we should be doing, what we should be stereotyping, yeah, is femininity and masculinity, yeah, in other spheres, like I said previously. And because our opponents don't have these stereotypes shown to their children, there is kind of basically no gender roles. There's no female male, which is a problem that, for example, I said, like in the West, because this border is removed, yeah, you have a lot of these kind of new genders created, which is incorrect, which is biologically, nature-wise, tradition-wise, fully incorrect and not needed. Thank you very much for your attention. I'll say this, in our world, everything is as nature intended, and everything is great. Okay, thank you very much.
The vice speaker of proposition team, please welcome.
Hello, one more time. I'm the reply speaker of proposition team. And first of all, I want to say thank you for this game. In this game we have interesting moment, and now we are talking about it. I want to start my speech with one clash point of our game. We have one but big clash point to our game. In our game, our opponents present us with a picture of stereotypes have long been a thing of the past, and secondly, the imposition of stereotypes doesn't equal real interest in talents. In our world, we give you a real picture of modern world, give real examples and keep up with the times, so this clash definitely goes to our side. Now I want to compare the worlds. First of all, I present you pluses of our world. In our world, we are fighting for children can watch a movie, everything movie. In our world, develops together with society and keep up with the time. We are looking into the future of children. In our world, we show by example how the relationship between children and parents will deteriorate, and we don't children don't divide children into female and male roles, so they can feel comfort in future. In the world of our opponents, they look back to the past, and society has developed to the next stage. They say that girls can only work in jobs that are accepted by the society. Children in this world don't develop, and they will just lose them in future. Here we can't tell about comfort at all. And we think that our world was stronger than the word of our opponents. And it is all that I want to say. Thank you for attention.